week 5 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few tight ends. I have a sleepers this week. The first tight end, A.J. Bonner of the Seattle Seahawks. A.J. Bonner has been under the radar over the last few weeks, but him and Sam Darnold have a good rapport. He's out there in 99% of fantasy leagues. I know he's a touchdown-dependent tight end, but the last 2 out of 3 weeks, he's found the end zone. Week 2 at Pittsburgh, a carry, 2 yards, 2 catches, 26 yards, a touchdown. Week 3 versus New Orleans, a catch, 23 yards. And then week 4 at Arizona, 3 catches, 32 yards, and a touchdown. So he's definitely a touchdown-dependent tight end is A.J. Bonner. Like I said, out there in 99% of fantasy leagues. But if you're in deeper leagues or have underperforming tight ends, if you want to take a shot on Bonner, he's a sleeper option this week. The next tight end, Mason Taylor of the New York Jets. So Mason Taylor, he's going out there. Weekly Taylor's improving, and his snaps and route participation's been going up. So out there in 92% of fantasy leagues is Mason Taylor. This week, a great matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys, where they can't stop anyone. And Taylor, the last couple weeks, like I said, more playing time. Week 3 at Tampa, 4 catches, 18 yards, 6 targets. And then week 4 Miami, the best game for the rookie as a pro. 5 catches, 65 yards, 7 targets. So like I said, besides Garrett Wilson, there's no one else in the receiving room or in the passing game that could go out there and be a number 2 consistent target. And the other thing as well is Justin Fields. He always likes targeting the tight end. We saw it with the Chicago Bears. Him and Cole Kmet was a good tandem over there. We saw it as well last season a little bit with Pat Freiermuth, the way he was with the Steelers. And this week with a good matchup versus Dallas. And Taylor last week looked good out there at the Miami Dolphins. He's definitely a tight end. That's a sleeper this week. And the final tight end, Tommy Tremble of the Carolina Panthers. So Ja'Tavion Sanders, we know he's hurt with the high ankle sprain, and Tommy Tremble stepped in now is the starting tight end. And last week he went out there, had a big game, 5 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. And the other thing as well, in this offense, there's no true number 2 option behind Tetairoa McMillan catching the football. So we know Jalen Coker possibly could return sooner than later for this Carolina Panther team. Leggett, he's been a bust so far in his NFL career. And Bryce Young, a young quarterback, where he's looking for someone to emerge. So Tommy Tremble showed some flashes last season a little bit, but coming off a big game in week 4 at New England, and now a good matchup week 5 versus the Dolphins that give up the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends on the season. He's a sleeper this week, and he's available in 99% of fantasy leagues. That's a few tight ends I have as sleepers for week 5 of the fantasy football season.